I knew the instant Aunt Denise's voice, usually a saccharine sweet whisper, cracked over the phone to a furious, shaking bellow. Something monumental was wrong, but nothing could have prepared me for the actual words she spat out. You stole $18,000, Anya, Sarah's college fund, and we have the proof, so don't even try to lie your way out of this one. A sudden and violent accusation that landed like a physical blow and instantly shattered the quiet professional distance I had painstakingly maintained from their chaotic family drama for nearly 5 years, forcing me back into the role of the undeserving scapegoat I had thought I left behind forever. The absolute conviction in her tone, the way she instantly believed the worst of me, the self-made cybersecurity analyst, the quiet one who asked for nothing, and the best of Sarah, her golden child who couldn't hold a job for more than 3 months, was the truest thing, reminding me that no matter how far I went or how much I achieved, I would always be the suspicious outsider in their judgmental eyes. She went on, detailing how the money had vanished overnight from the joint savings account and how Sarah had discovered my old, long-forgotten banking login credentials had been used to initiate the massive 6-figure transfer, a convenient narrative that sounded too neat and too perfectly villainous to be true, making me instantly suspect not a random hacker, but a calculated internal frame job by the very person she was trying to protect. My calm exterior began to crack as she threatened police action and permanent excommunication from the family, leaving me standing alone in my apartment, not just facing a potential felony charge, but staring down the barrel of a betrayal that cut deeper than any financial loss, realizing the emotional price of their constant judgment was far higher than the $18,000 they accused me of stealing. That phone call wasn't just an accusation. It was the catalyst, the moment the quiet, analytical side of me turned cold, realizing that clearing my name required more than simple denial. It required a surgical, undeniable exposé of the true criminal, forcing them all to face the inconvenient, ugly truth they had spent decades trying to ignore about their precious Sarah. This was no longer about money. It was a battle for my integrity, my freedom, and my hard-won independence. And I knew I had to weaponize my professional skills to fight back, ready to dissect every piece of their sloppy lie until the real culprit was exposed and I could walk away truly, finally untouchable. If this emotional roller coaster has you hooked, please hit the like button and subscribe right now. The unfolding mystery is even more gripping, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The deep, chilling rage that simmered beneath my professional exterior proved to be the perfect fuel for the meticulous investigation that followed, as I dedicated the next 72 hours not to panicking or begging, but to performing a full forensic breakdown of their story, treating it exactly like the high-stakes corporate breach I was paid handsomely to resolve. And my IT background quickly confirmed what my gut already knew. Sarah, the spoiled golden child, was less of a victim and more of a clumsy criminal, leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs only a true amateur would miss, but which were screamingly obvious to someone with my training. The key piece of evidence was the IP address associated with the crypto exchange where the funds were first converted, and a simple cross-reference revealed that the transaction had been initiated from a residential IP address in their neighborhood, one specifically linked to a gaming console and a series of frantic anonymous online searches for how to erase browsing history and quick loans for gamblers. A discovery that instantly exposed her hidden vice and shattered her narrative of an innocent victim, confirming that the money was gone not for college, but to service a desperate gambling addiction she was trying to hide from her controlling parents. Knowing the what and the who was not enough, however, because I understood the family dynamic. A mere confession or even a written statement would be dismissed as my jealous attempt to sabotage Sarah. So I needed an unassailable visual confession that would be impossible to deny. And that's when I set the final humiliating trap. I manufactured a fake legal document using the bank's official letterhead, a subtle flourish only a true IT professional could pull off, stating that the stolen funds had been traced to an international escrow account and that a full family meeting was mandatory with the bank's independent investigator to resolve the felony, knowing that the panic this would induce in Aunt Denise would force the public showdown I desperately needed to execute my revenge flawlessly. The entire elaborate plan was structured to exploit their long-standing favoritism and their unwavering belief in Sarah's innocence, positioning me, the falsely accused, as the one holding all the cards, ready to deliver justice in the most dramatically satisfying way possible. Because after years of being underestimated, I wasn't just going to clear my name, I was going to prove that the quiet ones are the most dangerous. If you're already invested in seeing this liar exposed, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel right now. The final confrontation is about to start. The tension in Aunt Denise's beautifully decorated, overly bright living room was suffocating when I arrived, with Sarah dramatically dissolving into tears, performing her role as the terrified victim, while my uncle kept demanding I confess to stop the impending legal disaster, utterly unaware that the only legal disaster in the room was their own daughter's imminent exposure, and I simply stood by the doorway, calm and silent, waiting for the precise, perfect moment to execute the final phase of my plan. When Aunt Denise finally crossed the room, her voice sickly sweet and full of contrived sadness, saying, "Anya, darling, just admit you borrowed it, and we can make this all disappear," that was the moment, the ultimate dismissal of my integrity that signaled the end of my silence and the beginning of their reckoning. Without raising my voice, I calmly walked over to their large, smart television and using a quick, subtle wireless command from my phone, projected the forensic evidence onto the giant screen, filling the room with the raw, undeniable truth, a crystal-clear transaction log showing the $18,000 leaving the college fund and immediately funding a specific international gambling platform, clearly sourced from the IP address linked to Sarah's own devices. The gasps and the sudden heavy silence were instantly replaced by Sarah's high-pitched, panicked scream of denial, a desperate sound that was immediately drowned out by the following image I projected, a screenshot of her private text messages to a friend, where she casually boasted about framing me, writing that she used my old passwords because she knew Mom and Dad would never believe it was the quiet, perfect little me. The sight of her own handwriting, her own words projected larger than life onto their living room wall, broke Aunt Denise completely. The illusion of the golden child shattered, and the years of favoritism and denial collapsed into a single, devastating, heartbreaking moment of undeniable truth, realizing the niece she had condemned was the hero, the daughter she had protected was the thief. I didn't utter a single accusatory word. I simply disconnected my phone, picked up my coat, and walked out of the house for the final time, leaving them with their criminal daughter and their shattered reputation, knowing that sometimes the most profound revenge isn't loud or violent. It's the quiet power of undeniable truth and the liberation of becoming everything they said I'd never be without them. Thank you for joining me on this powerful journey of betrayal and ultimate justice. If you felt that deep satisfaction, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more shocking confessions and ultimate comeback stories.